Coming up on Cardinals Insider,
Do I have the game to pull this off? That'll be the question.
we go shopping for Shildt. Plus,
A lot of times, it's just these guys are one phone call away from the major league level.
we catch up with the Triple-A Memphis Redbirds. And later,
What you are tasting in front of you is our Euro Trio.
the Busch culinary staff battles it out on the finale of the Cardinals cook-off. Welcome to Cardinals Insider. I'm your host, Ozzie Smith. Would you let someone else pick out your clothes? Well, this spring, Cardinal manager Mike Shildt did. He let Harrison Bader and Jack Flaherty pick him up an outfit for a team appearance at Roger Dean Stadium. Bader and Flaherty showed off their fashion sense, and they let our cameras tag along.
Hey, it's Harrison Bader,
I'm Jack Flaherty.
and we're here to shop for Shildt.
Let's get it.
So if I'm Shilty, right, I'm going for something that wants to scream to the fans, I'm here, I've arrived, and I'm all about business.
No, first full year's manager. How is everything supposed to fit him?
He's a slim fit type, right?
He works hard. He works
He
out.
does.
He's in there every morning.
That's what I'm saying. So we got to capture all of that in his outfit that we got to pick out for. So the first stop on Shop for Shildt, we're at J. McLaughlin, again on Worth Avenue, so let's see what they have. And we want our manager to look good. Because again, we're going for the kind of buttoned up look, going for a tight look. So this is kind of,
So you want to roll with the
Here,
button? You
we're
want to roll with the button down?
I mean,
and
it's up
some
to you to tell
pants
me.
and
What do
some
you think?
shoes. No, man, I
these
just
are
look.
nice too. See, now I'm surveying a little bit.
No, but so the pants got to be. You looking?
You could
So
go
you looking
white.
for one?
You could go white. You can go white.
No, not going white on his pants. It's harder than I thought. I have an idea. Maybe it's the shoes. Maybe that's all it is.
He did talk about
I want to
shoes.
throw a sneaker on him.
Right?
Ooh,
We actually might find something in here.
ooh. You could have something and it could look good, but it has to fit right. That's the thing.
Flair, this is you, bro.
What? I like that.
I know this is you.
You think Shilty might like this? Or something like this? Bader kind of like this a little bit, kind of loud, a little bit different. Hey, I could work with these. A little bit of texture to the pants.
I like those too, actually.
Just a little bit of texture.
Shilty?
I don't like plain. I like a little bit something to it.
They'll breathe a little bit too.
Yeah.
Do we want to go collared shirt or button down look?
I'm gonna pull these pants off just as an option.
I like the pants.
You know what his waist size is?
Actually, I had a
No,
tape
you
measure. I had a tape measure in there.
And so I don't know how they would fit him. Like
They look
I like
tapered.
it to be tapered at the bottom where it's a little bit tight around the ankle and where it fits the body right.
Do you want to go blue up top? I like a camo slipper for him. The color has to be right there. Flares, these would work color-wise. I'm thinking about it too, the wolf is cool, you know what I mean? What does a wolf symbolize? Shilty's into a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Shilty, I remember before he did this, he was like, hey man, make sure the shoes are tight. Make sure the shoes are tight. It's a good looking guy right there, I don't know. Just saying. So all we need is a shirt. I think we're doing pretty good. I think those shoes are money, actually.
Christmas morning. Oh yeah. That is sharp. Comfortable, looks like. Pretty strong right there. Yeah, that's nice. Do I have the game to pull this off? That'll be the question. And I got a sense, I'm guessing, that Harrison Bader picked these out. Pretty sharp. I can't wait.
The Big Bear is roaring this year. Marcell Ozuna is threatening to eclipse 30 homers and 100 RBIs this season. Here's more on Marcell's second campaign here in St. Louis.
3-2. There goes Goldschmidt, and there goes a drive into deep left. How far? Get out of here! Wow! just to the left of Big Mac land. 5, 6, 7, maybe 8 rows up.
The first half counting numbers are impressive for Marcell Ozuna. 20 homers and 62 RBI before the break, and that's with losing the final 8 games to injury. Ozuna's second season in St. Louis has seen his work in the cage translate to the field on a nightly basis.
I done working on my timing, done working and stay inside, and I guess success.
And Ozuna hits a drive. Out to deep right. At the wall. Gone!
Success indeed. Ozuna's bat began thundering in mid-April, and it's been home runs and RBI ever since. Cardinals manager Mike Shildt says he first started taking notice when even the outs were allowed.
Marcell hits one a ton. Deep left. Oh, into Big Mac land.
When a guy that's big and strong stays on the ball and is driving the ball to all parts of the field, you know his timing's right. When his timing's right with that kind of power, you know damage is coming, and here it is.
For Cardinals Insider, I'm Brett McMillan.
Straight ahead on Cardinals Insider,
The fan base here is incredible.
we head to the farm with a visit to Triple-A Memphis. Also coming up,
And at this point, it was an incredible honor to be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
50 years ago, the man entered the Hall. A look at his historic career. The Cardinals have affiliates across the country, but Memphis is the only Triple-A club. Cardinals Insider headed to Tennessee to check out what's happening just a step below the big leagues.
A lot of hard work goes into making it to the big show. We caught up with a few Redbirds here in Memphis, Tennessee to learn what it takes to make Triple-A, as well as how they're preparing for the big leagues.
A lot of times it's just these guys are one phone call away from the major league level, and they can feel it, they can see it. My experience, I guess, as a player has helped me in that regard. I've been in this position, I've been in the major leagues back to Triple-A, and I've been in Triple-A on my way to the major league, so I can kind of share those experiences with these guys and do my best to try and put them in the best position to succeed.
What is it here that prepares players for the next step in their career? Well, for one, a lot of guys here have played at the major league level and know how to make adjustments moving up in the system.
It's definitely a challenge. You know, this is, the step before, the show. So you're definitely facing a lot of talented guys that have, obviously gotten to this level and had some success. So it's definitely a challenge.
They know the game so well now. It's older guys here, and it's just having to compete. It's a chess match every night you go up there. The control of their pitches is so much better. They'll throw anything at any count, and it's just a little bit more crisp up here, as I'm sure it is a little more crisp in the big leagues compared to here. So every level's been an adjustment.
Being part of the Cardinals farm system means being part of Cardinals Nation. The fans make the trip to watch you and follow your career.
The fan base here is incredible. You can definitely tell that there are so many Cardinals fans here in Memphis, and it's just fun. They all know your name, they all are rooting for you, they all want to see you in St. Louis, and it's just cool being around that kind of atmosphere every single day.
Preparing players for the next step while maintaining a winning team can be tricky, but the Redbirds have mastered a way of doing both.
Player development is a priority number one, so that takes precedence over winning. But in order to win, you got to kind of know how to win. So there's a balance here. They go hand in hand, but our goal is to develop the players and just try our best to make sure that they're ready for the major leagues when they get their call.
I'm just here to try to work hard every day and get better every day. So when I get ready for the call, I'm ready to pitch in the big leagues.
Many Cardinal greats have worked their way through the farm system and will always remember waiting for that call of a lifetime.
Probably cry. Probably call everybody in my family, so my mom, my parents.
In Memphis, Tennessee, for Cardinals Insider, I'm Emily Stevens.
Straight ahead,
It goes to show how well respected he was amongst all baseball writers.
a look back at the greatness of Stan the Man 50 years after his Hall of Fame induction. Plus,
in front of you, you guys have the Reds chicken fried brisket slider.
what will be the newest food item at Busch Stadium? The judges have the answer coming up. Have you listened to the Cardinals Insider podcast yet? Each week, the show welcomes players, executives, and alumni. Plus, hear audio from the Cardinals Radio Archive. Take Cardinal baseball with you on the Cardinals Insider Podcast. Listen or subscribe wherever you get your podcasts or at cardinals.com/podcast. Things are getting even sweeter at the ballpark, from ice cream to donuts. Here's a story that's sure to cure your sweet tooth.
As you know, a lot of folks come to our baseball games and they're going to have the lunch or dinner, depending on the time the game is. But what a lot of people forget is that we also have a variety of desserts to the ballpark. Just as many different hot dogs and nachos we have that many different types of desserts. Desserts go from the simple and the memorable helmets that have the soft serve in it, but all soft serve you get to go ahead and top yourself. We also have fresh made Dinger's donuts. You got to try those. They have the cinnamon sugar. They also have a vanilla and a chocolate. We've got all kinds of different ice creams. The Ben & Jerry's is here. We have Italian ice here from Carly's Ice here. So you got to make sure whenever you come to the ballpark, you also get one of our desserts. There have been some talks of having a fall and spring Dinger's Donuts. The fall one will be pumpkin spice. So keep your eyes out for that. We also have, coming soon, a dessert pretzel. We already have a large pretzel that is a twist, but we're going to top this with cinnamon sugar, serve that with vanilla icing on the concourse. Keep your eyes out for that. Baseball Heaven is a big place, and we've talked about a lot of great food here. In order to find all this food, go to the MLB Ballpark app, get the fan food guide, and it will show you all the food throughout the ballpark so you make sure you don't get lost and don't miss any of the exciting plays on the field. All of these desserts are available every baseball game for all of the fans. You've got to make sure you have them. And with the summer heat here in St. Louis, we got to keep the fans cool.
From the sweet treats of Busch Stadium to the sweet swing of number 6. For 22 years, Stan Musial dazzled the National League with his consistency at the plate. 50 years ago, the writers voted him into the Baseball Hall of Fame. We're taking this opportunity to talk about one of the greatest hitters ever to live.
When Stan Musial was elected into the National Baseball Hall of Fame, it was literally only 30 years old. And while we think about that being 3 decades, there was still a large backlog of quality players that the baseball writers of America were still working through. And at this point, it was an incredible honor to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Stan wasn't just a first ballot Hall of Famer. As far as I know, he only lacked getting 23 votes of several hundred voters to be a unanimous Hall of Famer. That was so beyond what most players even received that it goes to show how well respected he was amongst all baseball writers. But there was such a group of quality players that those writers had to vote for that the votes really got spread pretty thin. So for Stan to be voted in on his first ballot and only lack 23 votes from getting 100% of the vote really shows how respected he was as a player for his career in Major League Baseball.
It's time for this week's trivia question. Next weekend, former Cardinal Lee Smith will enter the Baseball Hall as part of the 2019 class. What year was the inaugural class inducted? Was it 1916, 1926, 1936, or 1946? The answer when we return. We're back with the answer to this week's trivia question. We asked what year the inaugural class entered the Baseball Hall of Fame. The answer is 1936. Ty Cobb, Walter Johnson, Christy Mathewson, Babe Ruth, and Honus Wagner made up the first class. Lots of Cardinals have gone in since then. Here's some of our favorite moments from Cardinal speeches past.
I really don't mind hitting last in this famous lineup of these Hall of Famers.
Baseball has given me recognition throughout the world, and now it is rewarding me with this greatest honor of being inducted in the Hall of Fame.
I want to be remembered as a person, a competitor,
that gave 100% every time I went out on the field.
Being elected to the National Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, New York, is like going to heaven before you die. Thank you very much.
Out of high school in '34, the Cardinals had a tryout camp in Greensboro, North Carolina. They invited me to that camp. Mr. Rickey says, if you make good, we'll pay your expenses. If you don't, you pay your own.
My induction also has allowed me to create a new personal format for myself, and now I feel proud to take my seat among the greatest players ever to play Major League Baseball.
Ozzie Smith was a boy who decided to look within, a boy who discovered that absolutely nothing is good enough if it can be made better, a boy who discovered an old-fashioned formula that would take him beyond the rainbow, beyond even his wildest dream, a boy who discovered a formula that was, and is still today, a mind to dream, a heart to believe, and the courage to persevere. And the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow is the opportunity to serve others.
Coming up next.
It's a little more sophisticated than the corn dog I usually get.
The Busch Stadium culinary staff stands before the judges for the Cardinals cook-off. After the All-Star break, there will be a new food item at Busch. The ballpark's culinary staff submitted original dishes, and a panel of judges chose a winner. That's part 2 of the Cardinals cook-off.
In front of you, you guys have the Reds chicken fried brisket slider. It is presented by Mark Toombs and Savion Hill and myself.
So we kind of try to do like a whole St. Louis thing with the Cardinals, with the number 2 and the red seasoning for the Red Hot Riplets.
You envision it as shareable?
It can be, or for a hungry fan of one.
What you are tasting in front of you is our Euro Trio. What we have done is we've taken a traditional Euro, which would be on the right. We've taken a roast beef Euro, which is on the left. It's a handheld, so while you're in the seat, you won't make it, mess on yourself, and it's just easy to carry.
I don't know about not making a mess on yourself.
The summer mojo chicken pita is a nod to the Latin mojos, which are garlic and citrus and acidity to it. So this has got kind of a Midwestern feel with peach. There's peach in the marinade for the chicken, peach in the mojo, and also sauteed peaches in with the peppers and the onions.
It's a little more sophisticated than the corn dog I usually get.
Well, kind of wanted something a little different, a
No,
little
I
lighter.
like it. I really
you could
like it.
still hold it and eat it and play cornhole with the other hand if you wanted to.
Our concept is home run hand pies, and the item that we're presenting to you is our St. Louis cheesesteak with Anheuser-Busch beer cheese.
And what's in this?
So that is a mixture of cheesesteak, onions and peppers, the beer cheese. It is a sheeted dough that we roll over, crimp it shut, and then we have extra cheese for the dipping sauce. In the off season, Rich and I were fooling around with the idea of doing a giant calzone as a sweets item, and Candace had that jalapeno popper filling, and it just kind of came together, and then it was just, they kept bringing me flavor after flavor.
Turkey leg was one of the things that we don't see. They said it used to be on the menu, so what we did was try to amp it up a little bit and bring it back. You know, we brined it real good and made it real juicy and got it ready to go to roast.
We was going with a carnival theme, which is what the display looks like as well. That's why we have the M&Ms and the popcorn. The chips are a part of the dish.
Come on, Al, pick it up. Let's see it.
It's too heavy.
What you have in front of you is like a Tuscan hummus, cannellini beans, which is a smash spread. So I want the texture of the bean in there, so that's your protein. Lots of vegetables, all of the microgreens came from the garden. It is not gluten-free bread. I think we could do a gluten-free option.
Now, Chef, will you be able to create your own toast?
I think with the salad bar option that I have, you could make the toast for them and then they could fill down the line whatever they would like.
I'd like to announce the winners of the first Cardinals cook-off. In third place, the red team, Cortland's team, Chef Cortland, with the turkey leg. Very well done. In second place, Chef Patrick with the hand pie. And the winner is Team Navy Blue with the Summer Mojo Peach Chicken Pita, Chef Jim Thomas. Congratulations. All right, Chef. Congratulations, Chef.
To see part 1 of the Cardinals Cook-Off or rewatch part 2, check out the Cardinals Cook-Off playlist on St. Louis Cardinals YouTube channel. And we'll be right back. This episode is coming to a close, but we're always online at cardinals.com/insider. Plus, our YouTube page houses all of our content, including individual stories and past episodes. That's it for this episode. We leave you with the sights and sounds of Cardinals Nation. See you next week.
Batting fifth, number 5, first baseman, Albert Pujols.